One of the most interesting things of this OHL season, and we touched on it before it started, was how many new coaches there are. Like, not new coaches, but coaches that have moved around and are doing their first term with a new job. You know, I think of the guys that have really made an impact this year. Trevor Letowski in Windsor, he was on the bench. That's a real comfortable hire. You think of Trevor Letowski in Windsor, and you think of Billy Burke in Niagara. They were on the benches, so that's almost like a seamless transition. What's also struck me is it doesn't seem to matter this year whether a guy's been in a job for a long time or this is his first kick at the can. That isn't influencing their early records here this first month. Some teams, you look at Kingston, they've really jumped out of the gate well. They didn't score very well last year. Now they're putting the puck in the net. They're off to a real nice start. You know, another interesting case, he's not the youngest coach, he's been a career coach, is George Burnett in Guelph. George was in Belleville, and then he went in and took over Flint when they were having their problems, and he was just the GM. He wasn't the coach. But now he's in Guelph, which with a team that he took to the 1998 Memorial Cup final, and the Storm lost that game to Portland, and now he's back behind the Guelph bench, and Guelph is on the rise again. You can see they're very good in special teams, and George has them humming early. So it'll be, and they're in a tough division, right? You're in a division with London and Kitchener and Erie, and of course Owen Sound, who's a top contender. Now Owen Sound's an interesting case. You got Todd Gill. He used to coach in Kingston, hasn't coached in the league for a while. He's back, and there's almost no margin for error. The Attacker is supposed to be one of the top teams in the league, and they got off to it. They had a big test in Kitchener on Monday, and they came up short. They lost. So it'll be interesting to see in that Midwest division how he fares. They should be a 100-point team in this league, and if they aren't, you know, it falls on the coach. The coach, Jeff Toohey, the longtime scout and former GM in Oshawa and Peterborough, always told me, your coach is the most important person in your junior hockey organization. He's the glue that keeps everything together. He's the great stabilizer, and this is a very unstable time with half the league having new coaches. So some guys are learning on the job, some guys are learning a new environment here. And it'll be interesting to see in a month from now how these teams are doing. I think there's going to be in the OHL this year, you know, a lot of up and down, up and ladder. Usually we see the top teams out of the gate take off. I think we're going to see a little bit of shuffling as we go along. Some teams will fall back. Some teams will have 5-game. Erie under Chris Hartsburg just had a 5-game losing streak. They broke it against London. That'll be interesting. Another case in London here, Dale Hunter. He's been coaching, but he has a bad knee, so he hasn't been to every practice. It's very interesting to see him. He's gutting it out. You know, there's a veteran guy. Another guy, Stan Butler. He's a veteran guy. So you got a good mix in the league here of real guys that have been in the same job for a long time, and guys learning on the fly or new to the league, don't even know their players, getting to know their players for the first time. Both can work in junior hockey. One of the great surprises of this young season, a guy who's been coached for a little while, Darian Hatcher, that's in Sarnia. This is a team that was ravaged last year by the NHL. They lost 3 very good players, and that set them back. Now they're a little more stable out of the gate. They have the team that they thought they'd have. They're getting pretty good goaltending. They're scoring a ton. And so they are on a big streak. And they play Mississauga. Mississauga doing the same thing as last year. They're poor out of the gate. They meet in Sarnia. Mississauga needs a win, and the Sting want to keep it rolling. So that's a game that we're going to be watching this week. So we'll see a lot of great games this week, and we'll see you at the rink. For Post Media Network, I'm Ryan Payette.